Let's say everything disappeared. No degrees, no network, no portfolio, just me and $10,000. Here's the truth. Most people freeze at that thought. They think, $10K? That's survival money, not investment money. But if you want to rebuild wealth, you can't think like a survivor. You have to think like a capital allocator. That's the first shift I'd make. Every dollar becomes a soldier. Not for comfort, not for spending, but for building. And if you want to win, you have to give those dollars clear marching orders. Some to protect, some to grow, some to build leverage. That means this: I wouldn't look for the fastest ROI. I'd look for the strongest foundation. This isn't about flipping $10K into a Lamborghini. It's about flipping $10K into something that prints income for the next 10 years. That's the real flex. So let's break down the exact steps I'd take in order. No fluff, no theory, just the plan I'd follow and the traps I'd avoid. Because if I can turn $10K into $100K, I can do it again, and again, and again. Step 1. Preserve and position capital. The first $2,000 doesn't go to investing. It goes to protection. Because if you lose momentum early, from an emergency, a bad decision, or even burnout, you're out of the game. So $2K goes to basic life buffer. Rent buffer, food, transportation, Wi-Fi, mental peace that gives me space to build without desperation. Now I've got $8,000 left. Here's what I do next. Step 2 is positioning capital. I wouldn't jump into stocks, crypto, or courses. I'd slow down and split the $8K into 4 stacks. Skill stack, $1,000. I'd find one high-demand scalable skill, like media editing, local lead gen, data analysis, or sales. Then I'd invest in learning that skill deeply through practice and projects, not courses. Content stack, $1,500. I'd use that skill to create content. Tutorials, results, case studies, stories. Even low-budget tools like Canva or CapCut can build leverage. Offer stack, $3,000. I'd use that content to test offers. Freelance gigs, local services, info products, consulting. This becomes my first cash machine. Trust stack, $2,500. I'd build a brand around everything I do. A website, testimonials, YouTube channel, email list. Because people pay more when they trust you. That's how I position $8K to build long-term leverage. Step 2, building the first income stream. Once I've protected my downside and positioned my capital, now it's time to build my first real income stream. This won't be glamorous. This won't be viral. But it will be real. Let's say I chose media editing as my skill. I'd take the $1,000 from the skill stack and do 3 things. Buy a basic setup, a decent mic, lighting, and editing software. Study 3-5 top performers on YouTube in the same skill area. Learn how they position, pitch, and deliver. Create 10 sample projects, real work, even for free, and showcase them publicly. Then comes the first monetization. I'd pitch 20 people a day. Small businesses, real estate agents, course creators, podcasters, $200 for a trial edit. $500/month retainers after that. Just 3 clients at $500/month gets me to $1,500 month. That's cash flow. Now I'm not surviving. I'm building. And here's the key. I document everything, wins, lessons, client results, in content form. That content builds trust. Trust leads to bigger clients. Bigger clients means more margin. More margin means more cash to reinvest. That's the snowball. Step 3, reinvesting for scale. Once I hit $1,500 month, I don't raise my lifestyle. I raise my leverage. Here's what I'd do. Outsource low-skill tasks, $500/month for a VA or assistant to help with admin, editing, outreach. Upgrade content gear, another $500, $700 for better visuals and sound, because presentation scales trust. Systemize offers, I'd build a funnel. Maybe $1,000 on a clean landing page and simple onboarding system. At this stage, I've turned the original $10K into a $3K/month system. That's $36K a year. Still small? Maybe. But now I'm building assets. My systems are tighter. My clients are better. My story is stronger. And here's the breakthrough. With consistent cash flow, I'm now bankable. I can prove income. I can get approved for funding, not to spend recklessly, but to scale wisely. At $3K/month, I'd save $1,000 month for 6 months. That's $6K. Then I'd move into the next phase. Step 4, moving into real assets. Now that I've stabilized income and saved $6K plus, I'd prepare to acquire real appreciating assets. Here's where the game changes. With $6.10K, I'd look at land flip stacks, lean investments, rent-ready mobile homes, small cash-flowing websites, sublease rental arbitrage, my pick. I'd go real estate adjacent. Start with a rental arbitrage setup. $5.07K can secure and furnish a small one-bed unit. $1 200/month rent $2,000 month income $800 profit. Repeat twice. That's $1,600 month net. Now you're earning from real assets without owning them. That's leverage without the mortgage. As I build that stream, I prepare for ownership. With history of income plus bank statements plus consistent deposits, I can now qualify for a small business credit line partner with others using my systems, save for a duplex or triplex. The point is this: ownership doesn't require millions. It requires proof and preparation. Step 5. The intangibles. Buy now. I've gone from $10K to 2-3 income streams, a small portfolio of digital or real assets, documented brand systems, and cash flow. But here's what makes it 10x more powerful. Your story. That's the hidden asset. People will follow you because you're proving it live. That content becomes your brand, and that brand becomes your leverage. Suddenly you're invited to podcasts. You're selling playbooks. You're raising capital. You're coaching others, all from sharing the real steps. And here's the mindset to keep scaling. Detach from vanity metrics. Focus on systems, not stunts. Play long games with long people. Never risk your reputation for short wins. This phase is all about reputation capital, because the market pays you in trust before it pays you in dollars. Okay, now you've built income. You've got small assets. You've grown a brand. But here's the next challenge. How do you scale from $5K/month to $50K/month without burning out or losing your values? Most people think hire a team or run ads. But scaling isn't about doing more. It's about doing less, better. So in the next video, I'll walk you through how I'm scaling my own portfolio using the same principles. And no, I'm not starting a course or charging for mentorship. I'm building real leverage and showing every move on this channel. So if you want to turn $10K into your first system, brand, asset, and empire, hit like, subscribe, and go watch episode 10, where I show you how this ends and how I'll turn $100K into financial independence, step by step. If I only had $10K, I'd ask a powerful question every day. How can I get results without spending more? This is how you start winning with leverage. There are 3 types you can use, even if you don't have a lot of capital. Time leverage. Hire virtual assistants or automate tasks using AI. Even $200/month on smart automation tools can save you 20+ hours of work. Hours you can reinvest into deal-making, networking, or content creation. Network leverage. Collaborate with others who have what you don't. Find someone with an audience but no offer. Offer someone with a deal but no cash to partner and split profits. Platform leverage. Use content platforms to scale your message. One video, one blog post, one tweet. They can reach thousands, even while you sleep. For me, I'd put some of my remaining budget into tools like email, autoresponders, scheduling apps, AI, voice, video editors, social media automators. Because when you're starting small, your energy is your capital. The goal isn't to do everything manually. It's to use your $10K like a general commanding troops, assigning each dollar to amplify output per hour. And this gets even more powerful when you start turning other people's time and assets into your own system. Ethical, win-win leverage. If you do this right, it won't feel like you're starting from $10K. It'll feel like you're starting with a machine. And next, I'll show you how I'd use that machine to generate my first income stream, fast. Generating my first cash flow stream, I wouldn't wait months to make my first dollar. Within week 1, I'd aim to launch my first cash flowing product or offer. Something fast to market, low overhead, and 100% digital. Here's exactly how I do it. Step 1. Solve one urgent problem. Not a big course, not a vague, how to be successful. Just one specific solution, like how to find underrated rental markets in 48 hours. Step 2. Package it as a mini offer. PDF guide, 30-minute video, checklist bundle. No fancy production, just useful. Step 3. Sell it for $10, $29. Why? Because at this price, people don't need 10 hours of content. They just want a result. Fast. Step 4. Promote using content. One LinkedIn post, one YouTube short, one Facebook group thread. Even if just 10 people buy, I now have proof of concept, cash in hand, momentum. From there, I'd iterate fast. Make a better version, add testimonials, upsell to a higher offer. This is the digital snowball. Start small, reinvest, grow the system. By day 30, I wouldn't just have one income stream, I'd have a foundation to scale. And if you're thinking, but what if I'm not an expert? You don't have to be. Just be one chapter ahead of your customer. Document the process, show your work. That's enough to create value. And in the next part, I'll break down how I'd turn that first product into a full digital asset stack. When you're starting from scratch, you can't compete where others are strongest. So I'd ask myself, where do I have an unfair advantage? It doesn't have to be technical. Maybe it's a unique experience. Maybe it's a language I speak fluently. Maybe it's growing up poor and knowing how to stretch a dollar further than anyone else. I'd avoid crowded, hyper-competitive spaces and go where my background gives me leverage. If I'm good at writing, I'd use that to sell or teach. If I'm persuasive, I'd focus on sales or partnerships. If I'm analytical, I'd dive into data and consulting. That one edge is where the $10K turns into $100K. But if you never stop to find it, you'll burn through your $10K trying to be average in crowded spaces. The biggest lie about starting over, here's what no one tells you when you're rebuilding. You don't need to become someone new. You need to become fully committed to who you already are. Most people waste time reinventing themselves instead of doubling down on their real strengths. If I had to start over, I wouldn't try to copy the most successful person I know. I'd copy the most authentic version of me, sharpened by clarity and focus. Your first business, brand, or asset doesn't need to be world-changing. It just needs to be real, grounded, executable. That's how real wealth starts. What happens after $10K? Once that first $10K turns into $50K, here's what I'd do differently. I'd start outsourcing low-leverage tasks. I'd double my content output. Now with proof behind me, I'd invest in deal flow, better networks, better systems. I'd build a real holding company or brand umbrella, because now it's not just about making money, it's about making systems. $10K to $50K is skill. $50K to $250K is systems. $250K to $1 million is scale. And most people never get past skill. So I'd use the early wins to buy time, not toys. That's how you multiply. So, what would you do with $10K? Not in theory, but in real life? Because that decision is the foundation of your next 5 years. If this episode gave you a real plan, hit like, subscribe, and drop your $10K action plan in the comments. If you're wondering what not to do, watch bonus episode 1, The 5 Wealth Lies. I unlearned before spending $100K next, because mindset can kill your money faster than any mistake. Affiliate tool of the episode, Your Money or Your Life by Vicki.